promise the next Call of Duty is going to be the biggest, best, craziest, most bombastic, and it'll be in Game Pass Day 1. By their own math, they lost $300 million putting that into Game Pass. Now, if we're using that original number, $700 million made on Game Pass every year.
What? And if we go by your math, I mean meth, you would understand that the mathematics that you talking about is completely wrong. Microsoft made that in 1 month. What are you talking about? Microsoft only made $700 million off Game Pass in 1 year? Bro, have you ever heard of a calculator? Like, I mean, what's wrong with you ponies, man? I get it. Microsoft raised it with Ultimate, but you don't have to go as far to lie to your own community. I mean, if you use a calculator, 35 million times $20 as to when this game was on there, you will realize that it's about as close to $6 billion a year alone. Oh, but it lost $300 million in sales. You know why? Because the game was on a subscription service, because PC and Xbox gamers did not have to buy it. But that doesn't necessarily equate, or should I mean, that the game sold poorly. What are you people talking about, bro? Of course the game didn't sell well because people didn't have to buy it. It's that simple. But to go as far to say that Microsoft only made $700 million a year, well, clearly that's a blatant lie, because Microsoft made more, or should I say than some, even in 1 month.
Basically, they lost the amount of money that Game Pass practically made. They lost about 50% of their total Game Pass profit from just last year instantly because of one game.
So because people didn't want to buy the game and they would rather play it through the subscription service, therefore shows you that Microsoft lost money. If anything, they've gained more, because it should be worse. It should be like, well, Microsoft wasted $1 billion or $2 billion ever since they put it on Game Pass. Then maybe you would have a valid point. But $300 million, that would have potentially been the people that went out there and bought the game. They didn't have to. They just played it through the subscription service. That's why we keep telling you that it's not important to sell games. It's all about the live service and subscription. That's where Nintendo, Microsoft, and as well as PlayStation is getting the vast majority of their money. Not exclusive games, live service and subscriptions. You know, that monthly and yearly payment that you pay PlayStation just so you can play the same games online. No different than what people are doing on PC and Xbox.
And apparently, people at the top were pissed. Call of Duty lost sales is one of the key reasons why Game Pass price has increased. Now, I want to take a look at all the numbers of this, because everybody is just being... Microsoft's claiming that, like, oh, if we put stuff in a Game Pass, people don't necessarily buy less games. But that was just so obviously a lie.
Oh, like, really? What about Hollow Knight? Oh! Didn't that game sell well, even though the game was on a subscription service? Matter of fact, we even bring up Hypercharge, the same game that I actually own on Switch, and more people played it on Xbox than they did on PlayStation. Was it Hypercharge Unboxed or whatever? That game actually sold better on Xbox than it did on PlayStation and Nintendo Switch, which all have a higher install base than what? Xbox. Oh, but everybody gamer don't buy games. I mean, we don't buy games we don't have to. What is the point of me paying $70 for a game that is already being available through my subscription service? What do you people don't understand? Like, you people are, oh, they're not making enough money. They lost $300 million on sales. Of course. But at the end of the day, it was all worth it, because you know why? That money came back in return. And you're going to go as far to say that Microsoft only made $700 million a year off Game Pass Ultimate. What are you talking about, bro? Have you ever heard of a calculator? Like I said, maybe you don't know nothing about math, but you probably know more about meth. You don't know nothing about mathematics.
People that work under the Microsoft umbrella would talk about it a lot. All right, if I'm selling a game for $30 on PS5 and it's $30 on Xbox, but then it goes to Game Pass, I'm going to get 0 sales on Xbox. 0. So
yeah, but you already got the money paid up front, though. That's why games still keep coming to the service, because Microsoft gives you the money up at front. No different than, what's that game? Expedition. And whatever sales that they get from it, well, that's just an additive bonus. You get what I'm saying? You guys are making it seem as if these companies are making literally no money when Microsoft wrote them a check about, hey, we want to have this game on our service for about a year or two. Is this fine with you? Yeah, we might as well accept it, considering that we don't think the game will sell that well anyway. That's why Xbox Game Pass is successful. And that's why third party, even indie companies, support it. That's why they want their games on it. Now, a game like Baldur's Gate 3, they probably don't feel like they need to do that. You know, they're on that Grand Theft Auto 6. We don't need that. You know, obviously a game like that wouldn't really matter, to be honest with you, because people are going to buy the game regardless. So maybe that's where Larian Studios is talking about. But to act as if this doesn't help, or should I say benefit other games, especially games that people don't know about, is very disingenuous for you people to say.
To kind of be that thing of like, all right, if that Microsoft paycheck, if that Game Pass paycheck, that upfront fee isn't enough, there's no way I'm even going to bother putting stuff on Xbox. People get mad when I say this, but let me be clear. Provably, Xbox gamers don't buy games.
Oh, really? Did you guys buy Concord? Are you people more likely going to buy Marathon? Are you people going to buy Until Dawn Remake? You people didn't. You people didn't even buy your own games. What are you talking about? You guys have 80 million PlayStation 5s. Well, let's be honest. The vast majority of them are in, they don't know the difference between a sale or shipped, right? They don't know the difference. PlayStation fanboys don't. A shipped is considered a sale in their eyes. But still, regardless of all that, you have 80 million PS5s out there. So explain to me why Astrobot only sold 1.5 mil. Don't you guys have more PS5s out there than Xbox? Shouldn't the game sell infinitely better than what's going on Xbox, even though you guys have practically doubled, if not tripled, the install base that they have? Oh, yeah, because you people all know that ain't nobody buying your exclusive games, not even your own audience.
People always get mad. They'll be like, anecdotally, I buy games and I have an Xbox. Okay, I'm glad you do, but I'm saying measure, systematically, put it on the chart. It's a tiny, tiny fraction of people that are actually buying Xbox games. But right?
Oh, really? Man, we know what PlayStation gamers buy. You buy the same games that they buy on PC and Xbox, third party. Ain't nobody want to hear these arguments. These people want to sit there and act. I mean, if you look at the top pre-orders going right now, ain't none of them exclusive. It's Battlefield 6 and Call of Duty, FIFA. I mean, they even got NASCAR 25 Gold Edition, for crying out loud. It ain't none of your exclusives. You guys want to sit there and say that exclusives is what's making the market go round, but yet your games ain't even hitting the top 10 trending.
Look at this. They said the merger would not affect prices. Okay, does she actually believe that Game Pass would have made $5 billion without Call of Duty?
It did, though. Before the acquisition even was acquired, Microsoft was still getting that money. What are you talking about? It still did. Y'all like Snap Games, you're right. Even before the acquisition, people was already still talking about, oh, I love Game Pass, I love the day. They were still getting that money. So, what are you talking about? Call of Duty just sweetens the deal. Activision Bethesda just sweetens the deal. If anything, which brings more value to their subscription service than the lack of value that you got on yours. Let's just be honest.
Suits are killing Xbox. All the goodwill they worked so hard to build, it's sad. Look at this. Here's the thing. That franchise makes more and more money every year. This is a BSP. Some people are sort of doubting it, that the growth of Call of Duty has been a pretty high up chart. It seems like every single year, Call of Duty manages to sell more and more microtransactions, more people getting addicted to Warzone, which is the free-to-play Call of Duty, and buying those microtransactions. But I do think that it's not just that Call of Duty is becoming less popular. I do think that there's a little bit of franchise fatigue. Obviously, Call of Duty
I mean, the franchise has been going on for about 20 years, guys. 20 years plus. You know what I'm saying? I'm very surprised to even see Call of Duty still in the limelight, even with how long this franchise has been out. I mean, we've seen with Square, we've seen with Ubisoft, even their games don't even have that popularity trend. Like, I mean, even Halo fell off, and that game was very popular back in the days. So to still see Call of Duty up and running, still trending, still getting those microtransactions, whatever numbers, which I don't personally care about, but the point still stands that, damn, like, when are we ever not going to hear about this game? You know what I'm saying? When is going to be the next best thing?
A very big thing, but it is interesting that I feel like as its popularity has waned, this is a bad time. I do think there is some franchise fatigue, and this was truly the worst time to suddenly think, all right, let's try to slap Xbox logos all over all the boxes. Let's call it Xbox Gaming.
I mean, it is an Xbox game. They own the intellectual property of it, so therefore it is their game. What are you talking about?
Put it up on PlayStation. I'm always curious about stuff like that. Does that actually affect the casual consumers, the very boring people that maybe don't understand business?
Well, those same boring people are the ones leading the industry. Those same boring people that you people have a problem with that play Roblox and Fortnite, understand that they picked up your platform to play those games, not your exclusives, those games in particular. Understand that, because they're more important to PlayStation, Nintendo, and Xbox than your own games. I think Nintendo, they might get a little leadway, but I'm telling you, I don't think the Switch 2 is going to do that well. I give it by Grand Theft Auto 6, and the hype is going to die down completely.
Mergers and FTC hearings and stuff, right? All these numbers make sense. What doesn't make sense is that Xbox put Call of Duty on Game Pass day one, told the courts the merger would not cause Game Pass prices to go up and to just turn around and increase them, the process, because of lost sales. Surely they saw this coming. Everybody is like, brother, this is truly a corporate plot twist. It's just so funny watching this implode because, I'll be honest, it was so obvious. I don't know, maybe it's just that I read too many business books, or that I got too much free time to stare at the internet and watch a dumpster fire burn brighter and brighter.
And that's your problem. What about playing video games? What about doing the things that we all know and love in the gaming community? Like the dude said, y'all ain't nothing but a bunch of social media bros. And guess what? And I can say this officially, 99.9% of gamers do not care about what you're talking about. Does that hurt your feelings, fanboy? Does it hurt your feelings that people would rather play Roblox than pick up Ghost of Yotei? Does it really hurt your feelings that nobody cares about Ninja Gaiden 4 and instead they're waiting for the new Call of Duty Black Ops 7 installment no matter how bad you hate it? Well, that it is what it is. What do you want me to continue to tell you people? That is gaming as of right now. And if you guys can't see that, well, like I said, you ain't nothing but a lost cause.
Brighter, but to me, it was always very obvious that these extremely expensive acquisitions weren't going to lead to Xbox taking the lead. I mean, Xbox is so far in third place, even if you try to act like Xbox isn't about a console, it's just an idea, they weren't going to catch up. I just think Game Pass was always a failed experiment, at least in my mind. All right, I want to end with this tweet here, which is, this is Jez Corden, one of the very biggest Xbox writers. In my opinion, one of the biggest Xbox fanboys. He runs a bunch of Xbox podcasts.
I thought you just said he was a guy that likes Xbox. Now you're going as far to call him a fanboy? I think the fanboy is you. You're the PlayStation fanboy.
He goes on Xbox podcasts pretty much 7 days out of the week. And even last night, apparently, he has decided he's going to stop podcasting, or he's randomly stopped doing his Xbox fanboy show.
Fanboy
he
show.
Has hundreds and hundreds and hundreds of tweets claiming that Lena Khan is hurting gamers. Here she is in 2020.
I don't care about this, bruh.
Xbox, and asked him about the very bad changes happening to Game Pass. Because in the last 72 hours, we've been talking a lot on this channel about how bad they're trying to butcher Game Pass. They're cutting features.
You're lying. See, this is what I'm saying. Stop the lying. They didn't cut no features. If anything, they've added features. Now, mind you, you can have a problem with it. Nobody's saying that. But to go as far to say that they didn't add anything is very disingenuous. It is. Because at that point, you are lying. Anybody that knows what's going on, like you guys claim that you do, or you prefer to be oblivious as to what's happening, understands that they've added value to Essential as well as Premium with the cloud streaming. And we already know what the Ultimate tier. Not even defending it. I don't care about it. My point stands is that why you lying? Why? That's all I'm saying. Let's hear that again.
Changes happening to Game Pass, because in the last 72 hours, we've been talking a lot on this channel about how bad they're trying to butcher Game Pass. They're cutting features, they're reducing discounts, they're actually almost doubling the price of Game Pass.
They've only doubled the price. Now, you have to be specific because they've only doubled the price. But, was it? I don't think it was double, but 20 from, what was it? to 30, the $10 increase, well, that wouldn't be double. Double would be, see, I mean, you say you know math, but in reality, you're on that mathematics. So 15, it would only be double if it was 15 and it went to 30. That's not double. What are you talking about?
Month by month. But worst of all, there is talks and internal testing right now that they're about to put commercials on your Xbox.
Literally. Oh, here we go. They're putting commercials. Okay, then don't use it. And it's a free option. You're acting as if Microsoft is charging you for something. That's still a benefit. It is what it is. If you choose not to use it, then by all means, you don't have to. You're acting as if people are forced to use the free commercial package.
While you're trying to play it, it will pause the game and show you an ad. Or even when you're booting the game up, you got to watch a literal 2-minute ad.
And that's for people that want to stream. Like, you can clearly tell this man. What, did somebody just walk in the room? What was going on here? Like, I don't know why you're looking in the far distance. Focus on the camera, buddy. Well, matter of fact, let me hear what you was about to say.
Like a Whopper Jr. But I want to talk about this because the leaks from the Xbox employees show the fact that, honestly, I do think this is the end. I do think that very soon here, every Xbox studio, the Xbox console, they're all about to be gone. And I don't think it's because the games are bad. I don't think it's that they're making bad decisions. It's honestly...
Hold on, what? This whole video is about them making bad decisions. What do you mean? It's not about Xbox making... What are you talking about? You made this whole video based off the bad decisions of Microsoft. At least that's what you're telling us.
That Microsoft expects the impossible. But let me break down the math, because honestly, their leaks are crazy. Also, this video is going to end with me making fun of some old Xbox, Nintendo, Sony, anybody. They're doing the classic business model, right? We make a game. We make Ghost of Yotei. We make whatever. We sell to the customers, and we get enough money, we get enough profit to make a sequel, to make the next game, to make the next project, right?
Because the vast majority of the money that's being made on PlayStation is through PlayStation subscription. 2K, Call of Duty. That's where the money's coming from. Don't get it twisted, bro. Sony ain't making the money off their own first party. They're spending way too much on these games. And guess what? They're only getting a little bit interest back in return. That's why we're starting to see less and less of these games. Because if that's how Sony was making their money, they would be pumping them out every other week. But we don't see that. We have to wait 5 to 6 years to play a freaking a AAA game from this company.
Hey, with Nintendo, all right, we're going to sell you a system. We're going to sell you controllers. We're going to sell you exclusives. And that keeps...
And we're going to act like Sony and Nintendo don't sell a subscription service either. Because if you do the mathematics, or should I say mathematics of that, you will know that they make a lot of money with that also.
In the green to keep churning stuff out. Whereas Microsoft, their idea was to try to copy Netflix, where instead of just giving you a steady flow of games that keep you buying them, they were like, all right, what?
They are giving their community... What? What are you talking about? They got Outer Worlds 2, Ninja Gaiden 4, Black Ops 7, all coming out soon. They just had Grounded 2. What? Forza Horizon 6? Bro, come on, man.
You just get 100 million people to pay a tiny fee every single month. That way it'll pay our bills. It'll be cheaper for them.
I don't know how you guys say it's tiny if you guys keep complaining about how expensive it's getting.
Give them a constant flow of not just our games, but other people's games as well. We can license other games and put them on Game Pass as well. But the problem is that the math never really worked. I've been talking about this for years, but I never really believed in the profitability of Game Pass because not only are games expensive, but it's about the acquisitions. Like, let's just talk about the current numbers, right? Like, straight up, Microsoft has said their goal originally was to try to get Game Pass to 100 million subscribers. 100 million. Now,
and they might possibly be able to do that with this new streaming stuff that they're going on, which is only verifying everything that Microsoft is doing. Now, we can all disagree with it or not, but the point still stands that them having this new multi-platform strategy, which Sony's also trying to copy inevitably, is only going to help expand in the Game Pass that Microsoft is alluding to. If anything, you just gave more weight to their own argument.
Numbers is they're around 35 million. And
bro, this is from like 7 years ago. What?
At this point, it sounds like, honestly, Game Pass sales are dead. If anything, they're in free fall because so many people are unsubscribed right now. But, okay, let's just even say current numbers, right? Until this price increase, they had 35 million subscribers, and each person paying about $20 a month. What is that? That's like $700 million a year.
Hold on, what?
Current numbers, right? Until this price increase, they have 35 million subscribers.
They have, listen, 35 million subscribers.
And each person paying about $20 a month.
Each person paying $20 a month.
That's like $700 million a year.
No, it's not. All right, bro. 35 million. You're going to have everybody pulling out a calculator for this. They're making 700 million in 1 month more than. What are you talking about? Oh, they're not making that the whole year. What are you talking about, bro? You bodied your own argument. Let me hear this.
Numbers, right?
I'm going to let it go.
Until this price increase, they have 35 million subscribers, and each person paying about $20 a month. What is that? That's like $700 million a year. Just on paper, $700 million a year, that's not bad. That could actually fund a couple big...
$700 million a year. Bruh, they are making that in one... You know what, guys? Like I said, Gamester with another W. Hopefully, you guys enjoyed the video. I'm not continuing on with this, man. I know mathematics. I don't know what mathematics this man is on. This is mathematics. All right? 35 million times 20. And you mean 700 million a month? You know what? Take care, guys.